Welcome to yet another episode of our podcast, Greatness Inspired. This is Prisha.
This is Nainika.
And this is Danisha.
We are here to continue from where we left off. So, around the time the Pedanandipadu College was established, another 4 colleges also came up in Guntur district. The Chief Minister granting permission to all these colleges at the same time was talked about as a matter of wonder in those days. Well, Sir's college didn't have a good financial background. Electricity came to his village only when he completed his 10th. Only 10 houses had electricity then. Sir, who had only seen oil lamps and lanterns in his village till then, used to gaze at the electric lights in amazement. When the fan turned on, oh, what a wonder it was. He used to dream about a light and a fan which would shine in his house too.
After the 10th results were out, they found out that Sir stood third in the school. It was expensive to go to other towns and study at colleges there. But luckily for them, they had a college in their village itself, Pedanandipadu College. His classmates Kota Subba Rao and Dillipalla joined the armed forces. The problem though was that his college only used to offer arts as a course. Sir was naturally good at mathematics, and his friends even used to call him an engineer. But amidst all this, his heart thrived to become a doctor.
In those days, Loyola College in Vijayawada was very famous for its academic excellence as well as discipline. But as he could not get subjects of his choice, so he took admission in JKC College. Dr. Kasaraneni Sadashiva Rao used to function as a secretary there, and he used to offer free service to the poor through his People's Nursing Home. He indeed was a great person, and instead of asking a certain amount of money, he chose to offer money to those in need.
Well, Dr. Sadashiva Rao asked Sir's father to donate 400 rupees for the new college. But Sir replied saying that it was already a great burden for his dad to pay his fees regularly, so in the last they did not pay.
In those days, Guntur city was so grand and splendid that it presented a feast to their eyes. There used to be guest houses for 4 or 5 kilometers on both sides of the road on their way to their college from the students' quarters. There were buildings constructed in the modern fashion for accommodating the British people and the high-level business magnates who visited Guntur quite often. At that time, they did not know about Hyderabad, but in the streets of Guntur town, they used to find 40 to 50 Benz cars.
Back then, all the lecturers in the colleges used to give private tuitions except the JKC College. Every morning between 5 to 8:30 am, the streets would be filled with students going for tuitions. Looking at that, one was led to think that the students constituted more than half of the population of Guntur town. Ironic, isn't it?
Yes, I can imagine. Still early mornings and late evenings, we still find students going to tuitions.
That is true. So, though Vijayawada and Guntur are towns adjacent to each other, there used to be a lot of difference in their attitudes. Whereas Vijayawada gave importance to business, Guntur used to give priority to quality. This did not mean they didn't do business. They did it on a large scale, but without making a fuss about it. Even today, Guntur has highest place spinning mills next to Ahmedabad. And not small ones, but each has a turnover of 100 to 150 crores. Same way, quality was given highest importance in respect of education as well. There used to be a healthy competition among students. Guntur was renowned for the quality of its education.
When Sir was studying at JKC College, Sri Y. Rosaya was the principal of the college, and he used to have a great command on English and Telugu. The way he explained the text used to create a lot of love among the students for the literature of the ancient days. He was another name for discipline though. He used to observe every small thing carefully. For example, he used to go through the Hindi newspaper every morning and keep a record of the mistakes in it by underlining them. Lecturers dreaded giving leave letters to Sri Y. Rosaya, who not only critiqued and corrected them, but also scolded them relentlessly. This led to jokes that facing a lion in a forest was safer than delivering a leave letter to him.
JKC College did not just look like an aided college. It used to foreshadow the atmosphere of the corporate colleges of the modern days. It used to look very grand with its several amenities and facilities. Vast playground, library, extra classes, weekly tests, competitive spirits as well as its education and learning. It continues to remain a prestigious college even today.
Sir brought shoes the first time and started wearing trousers that time only. He was a boy from village in the college and used to enter the class quite timidly. His class had three kinds of students. First, those who were the children of rich people. Second, those who had studied in English medium since beginning, and those who had already completed the syllabus once but started doing it again for medical entrance. He used to be scared in his initial days, plus the innocence of a village boy was a big drawback.
While attending PUC, Narayana, Ramesh, and Sir rented a room in Koritipadu, Guntur. Sadly, thieves struck within a week, taking off their clothes and belongings. Instead of following the usual course of reporting the theft to the owner, police, or parents as we usually do, they confided in their botany teacher, Sri A.S. Krishna. His reaction was one of surprise and laughter, questioning the purpose of informing him about a room theft. Puzzled, he realized that the innocents had led them astray. In an unexpected turn of events, he offered them a vacant room in his own house, where they resided for 4 years, completing their BSc after PUC thanks to his generosity and understanding.
Sir has studied in a Telugu medium school all along, but it is at that time when he joined PUC that the difficulty for speaking and understanding English arose. Because of this, he scored very less marks in the quarterly examinations. So, in regard to this, he got a helping hand by his lecturers, Sri A.S. Krishna and Sri Koteshwara Rao. With this, he had improved in such a way where he had stood first among the first 5 or 6 high scorers of the class. He had finally realized that if he understood the lessons and would study them, then English medium wouldn't be difficult at all. This gave an onset to his confidence and the stability of his mind.
Sir had seen several rural children who studied excellently well till the 10th class but turned dull afterwards and ended up as total failures in colleges. His classmates were such examples. Well, he found out 4 or 5 reasons for such happening. First, erosion of mental stability in children caused by the change of hormones in their adolescent age. Second, they had to stay away from their parents at the time and mix with children who have higher financial status. So they develop a feeling of insecurity among them. Third, sudden arrival to town environment. So because of these reasons, most students from village get upset both physically and mentally in early stages of college lives in towns.
Oh yes, by this I remember the time when I entered ninth and my parents and relatives had started lecturing me and giving advices about how this adolescence phase is very different. I could say that all of this was very new to me, but my parents gave me the guidance to sustain this phase.
Teachers should take care to guide the students exactly at this critical juncture of their life. Parents should also understand the condition carefully and extend support. Sir never used to compare himself to his classmates. He didn't think that he was any more intelligent than them. But he was only able to get through the exams solely due to the teacher's guidance. Sir was also aware of the fact that if he didn't study well, his future would be in jeopardy, as his financial condition at home was not at all encouraging.
Sir's most favorite magazine was Chanda Mama, which was intended quite specifically for children, but Sir had read the magazine when he was young and even after becoming an adult. The risk of failing in life is far less for a student who has been in the habit of reading books. This is why he is frequently advising his students to cultivate the habits of reading books from an early stage.
Till the previous year, when the students passed PUC exams, they could get admission into engineering or medicine on basis of marks directly. But that time government newly introduced an entrance test for studying engineering and medicine right from the following year when he completed his PUC. But due to his non-seriousness, he was unable to qualify for the admission in medicine. And he did not have the financial status to repeat the course. You know, when Sir tells us these things, he thinks whether he looks like a completely innocent and unenlightened country lad who wasn't aware of things, or like an ignorant, stupid student who didn't know the value of entrance test. Whichever of two might be correct, he paid the price for it.
In 1969, due to a lack of alternatives, Sir enrolled in BSc at JKC College. The school was modest, with classrooms consisting of sheds without windows and walls without plaster. Despite these conditions, the dedicated staff, led by Sri Bhaskara Rao, head of the botany and zoology departments, showed care for students. Sri A.S. Krishna and Dr. Amarendra were exemplary teachers who prepared meticulously. Later, Dr. Amarendra became the principal of JKC College. Sri Satyanarayana taught Shakespeare in a dramatic manner, leaving a lasting impact. Other teachers like Nagula Guru Prasad and K. Rajarama Mohan also demonstrated ideal teaching. Reflecting on their 1 year experience in PUC, Sir adopted a systematic approach to studying BSc, diligently covering lessons for 2 to 3 hours a day.
Even though Sir was careful when it came to studies, but he didn't know how to spend money in a frugal way. One such roommate, Madandi Chalapati Rao, who was there with him in BSc, he was a young man from a wealthy family. Whenever Sir required money, he would just take it from the pocket. His roommate was such type of a person who never asked the amount that Sir would take from his pocket. These were the days when Sir suffered for lack of something or other in his life, but there was not a single day when he suffered for lack of friends.
That reminds me of a time when I was extremely sick and I had to miss school for 2 weeks. I was extremely upset, but after I returned to school, my friends made me greeting cards and made me catch up with whatever happened at school. I am still very grateful for that.
By the time he joined BSc, his father had been in great financial troubles. So, whenever he was in need of money, his friends Nara Viraya used to help him very much. He was younger than Sir and used to do several odd jobs to earn money at his early age. When it was difficult to cultivate because of dry land, he installed an engine on the Nalamanda stream and pumped water into the fields. He didn't do it for free though. He collected amount for each acre. He used to be very innovative. Sir and his friends used to think he would earn crores by starting a business when he grew old. But his education stopped by 10th grade. Even today, he tries to do extraordinary things and is found in trouble now and then.
Though Sir had efficient lecturers at his college, he used to go to Sri Mujir for tuition in chemistry and with a strong ambition to score well.
In those days, unions were formed like SFI, ASFI, etc., which used to be very active and powerful. Now and then they used to call for a bandh. During the very days, people used to talk about the Jai Andhra movement here and there, and so it became a serious issue in the later years.
I mean, we also have many holidays because of bandh these days, and the exams at the end of BSc second year started. He took the exams quite well on the first day, but on the second day, when he was getting ready for the exams, he found out that his hall ticket was missing. He rattled very much. He searched everywhere but couldn't find it. He thought he was destined to lose the exam that year. Then he went to college to reveal the matter to his lecturer, but his reaction wasn't something relieving. He said, "What a risk you have put yourself in, and what can we do now?" and told to report the same to the principal.
Sir, facing anxiety, approached a strict disciplinarian principal, Sri Rosaya, to admit that they had lost their hall ticket. Surprisingly, the teacher was in a good mood and even made a joke about it. He scolded Sir in a gentle manner, mentioning the invigilator had brought the lost hall ticket. He encouraged Sir to take the exam seriously and even gave him chocolates for motivation. Despite numerous challenges, Sir managed to complete his BSc in 1972.
I remember times when there would be exams and all of us would be so nervous about it, but our maths teacher, Kishore sir, would always motivate us. He used to make sure that every single time we were nervous or anything, thinking too much about the exams, he would just make sure that the marks wouldn't matter and that it was just for our concept understanding. His motivation was indeed very helpful and gave a boost in our confidence.
So, this brings us to the end of the episode. Stay tuned for the rest of the story and to know what happens next. So, see you soon.